Do you notice that you get a lot of tension in your upper back, your shoulders, your neck, maybe from driving a lot or being hunched over your phone or a computer screen? Or are you just having more pain and tightness as you get older? Or maybe you're over 50 like I am? Well, I have the solution for you. This is your Yoga SOS, Yoga to the Rescue. We are going to be doing a therapy ball self massage for upper body. So what kind of balls can you use for this workout? Well, I covered that completely in my ball therapy for lower body, so you can check that out in the description below. I'll give a quick overview though. If all you have is tennis balls, grab those, those work fine. If you have a dog and your dog has some balls, borrow your balls from your dog. You might already know my favorites to use are these pinky balls. They are cheap, they can be purchased in major stores or online. They're rubber and grippy, and they're also dense, and I like the density of these. So you can get a specific set of therapy balls. If you have therapy balls and you've gotten the kind that come in a little mesh tote, we're going to use them at the end for the neck. So having the balls in the tote will work really well for the last thing that we do. Or if you happen to have come across one of these peanut balls, which is like two rubbery balls together, that is what I'm going to use at the end. I have a block here too. A block is going to be really useful for a couple of the last positions that we're going to do. We're going to do 4 total positions, going from the mid back to the upper back and finishing up with the neck. All right, are you ready? Get your balls, gather your props, and let's get going. All right, so this whole routine is going to be lying on our back. You probably want to place the balls on your mat first, maybe about halfway up. We're going to be rolling more toward the top of the mat. We'll be starting with the balls at the area at the bottom of the shoulder blade tips, the lower rib cage. We'll go mid shoulders, upper shoulders, and again, finish head and neck. So you can set aside your block, or if you have the peanut balls or the double balls, set those aside. Grab your other 2 balls, your 2 individual balls, and meet me down on the mat. So when we set ourselves down, we might have to do a little rearranging to find the right spot for the balls. And so you can put your hands there, try to get them so they're somewhere around the bottom tips of your shoulder blade. And you should be feeling something right away. So with the balls under the rib cage, the bottom shoulder blade, you'll see, maybe you can see this gives me a back bend, an arch to my back. So for these first few moments, I'm simply going to lie over the balls, focus on my breath, and let gravity to really do the work here. I don't have to move much at all. You can be with your knees bent like I am. If you prefer your legs straight, I find that that gives even more pressure to the balls that I'm not quite ready for. So I'm going to keep my legs bent, but you can certainly straighten your legs if you prefer. Now it's important to go slowly in ball work because going slow gives us a chance to observe and notice what's happening. And that's why we start in each new location really still, letting the balls do their work, do their magic without any effort at all. And then you might notice if you lift your hands toward the ceiling, that simple movement changes the feeling, the weight on the balls. And it might feel good, it might not. Certainly, if you preferred your arms by your side, go back to that. You can take your feet and press a little into your feet so that you get a small rocking motion in your body, letting the balls start to just massage up and down a little bit. And I have mine a little bit more toward the edges of my body. You could also, you might have to lift up a little bit, move your body, move the balls so that they're closer toward each other. So they're right on either side of the spine. It's feeling pretty intense for me right now. You might not want to go too intense. And if all of this is way too intense, You can get rid of the balls and roll up a blanket instead and do this work with a roll blanket, or find softer balls. That might be a better solution. So before we move to the next position, we're going to do one more thing here. I'm going to cross one arm over the other. I have my left arm crossed over the right. Now again, just doing that changed the weight of the balls on my back. We have the option to do a little bit of rocking. And as I rock from one side to the other, I'm rocking my upper body, but I'm rocking my knees side to side just to sort of help propel me a little bit. And you'll see I'm still going really slowly. And then I might open my arms, switch the cross just to see how that feels. And it's really important to see how each of these things feels on your body. If doing something different than me is preferable, you make that choice. Right, I'm going to take my arms back down my sides. Now you can simply roll down toward your feet. So as I roll down toward my feet, the balls roll up so they're a little bit in the area of my mid shoulder blades. Now, if you prefer to come off the balls, lay back down and rearrange, you can do it that way too. There might be a lot of arranging of balls in this practice. That's okay. It's fine to arrange and rearrange. And in fact, that's really good to do so you can find the right position for the balls for you for this routine in this moment. So again, we take a few moments here. It'll likely feel different than the first spot. There's still a back bend. We've moved that back bend a little bit more to our upper back. And we'll start with that same movement of reaching the arms up. See how that feels. You might like to reach them even a little bit more, as if somebody is pulling your arms away so that your shoulder blades widen or protract a bit on your back. And then pull your shoulder blades toward each other so your backs of your shoulders come down and toward each other. You could try that a few times, see how that feels. You could do the same movement we did before with one arm crossed over the other and a little gentle rocking. You could also rock into your feet so you have a little up and down motion. And then another option here, I might have to restrict this a little bit due to my things around me, is to do some kind of snow angel arms. You can move any props you have out of your way. You can do these with bent or straight arms. Or perhaps you simply reach your arms overhead and stay with the arms in this position for a moment. There's no magic to any one particular position. The magic is all in the balls. So you might even kind of float your arms around, go slowly. And if you find a spot, maybe you're frozen like a statue like this. But if that's the spot that gives you some really nice stuff, some really good massage, myofascial release into your balls, then stay there for as long as you'd like. It might look weird. You're not me. No one can see you. Stay there as long as you'd like. All right, we're going to move to one more position with the balls. And once again, you can kind of walk your feet down so that you walk toward the bottom of your mat. I'm actually going to sit up to adjust this one. So for this last position on our back, the balls are going to be all the way up toward the tops of your shoulders. That's our really tight trapezius muscle area. They're still under your back. And in fact, if you don't have them tucked under at least a little bit, they might go flying off across the room. Hopefully that doesn't happen to me. So find a spot toward the top of your mat to place the balls and lay back down over them. So once you get here on your back, you might actually find you have to sort of reach and tuck the balls a little bit so that they do stay under your back. Tennis balls, since they're soft and felty, they might really fly across the room. So be careful with that. And you can also push into your feet, push your body a little bit up toward the head side, and that might help to tuck the balls a little bit more underneath you. Ooh, now this is my tightest position, that upper back area. Oh, it gets so tight with using the computer, using the phone. So lying here, you might already feel like there's plenty of weight sent by gravity into the balls. If you want to change that up a bit, here's where you can take your block, grab the block. I like to have it on the low height, take it for a supported bridge. And notice as soon as you put your hips up, you are definitely going to send more weight into the balls. Maybe your eyes bulge a little bit like that. So ball work, it can be a little uncomfortable. We're looking for that amount of discomfort that feels like that hurts so good sensation, which means doesn't hurt at all, just feels perhaps super intense, but an intensity of, oh, this is producing a release. Oh, like getting a good massage, because that's what you're doing. You're giving yourself a myofascial self massage. So, once again, we stay here in stillness for a few moments. If you want some movement, I'd recommend starting with that small pushing into your feet so that you're getting a little bit of the rocking of the balls in an up and down motion, massaging where they are. And at any time, you can adjust the balls a little closer to center, a little further out, and you'll notice, oh, you'll get a slightly different spot when you do that. So I'll keep saying this, go slow. Go slowly so that you give your body the opportunity to feel what's happening, to adjust to what's happening. And then once again in this position, we can add arm movements. I always like to start with simple reaching the arms up. Just the fact of reaching the arms to the ceiling is going to put more weight on the balls. Our arms are kind of heavy. They're going to put that weight into the balls. You could also bend your arms, reach your elbows up, and that's going to also put a different amount of weight into the balls. This is a place you might like to open close a few times. So it's kind of like that retraction of the shoulder blades. I can feel my shoulder blades pull together as I do this, and then protracting, open them up. And I feel the ball sliding a little bit more in and a little bit more out, getting a bit more of a lateral massage to the balls. And if you prefer, arms can stay still the entire time. Body can stay still the entire time. You can breathe and simply enjoy the feeling of the balls giving you that sustained pressure, especially if you have some areas of knots. Perhaps you let the balls have some sustained pressure for a few moments, maybe a few minutes in one spot, and then you might negotiate a little bit to a new spot. Take a few more breaths here, and then we'll prepare for our last spot, which is the neck massage with the balls. So for our last spot, you can still use the two loose balls. I find that they're a little harder to hold in place in this last spot. So I'm going to use my peanut ball, or if you have the balls in the tote, you can use those. We're also going to use a block. The block is going to be a pillow for our head, and the balls are going to go right at the back of the skull. So at the bottom of the skull, the points of our occipital points, you can feel that bottom ridge of the skull. So meet me on the floor and we'll place the ball behind the head. Okay, so I have my block here. I'm going to place the balls right at the bottom base of the skull on top of the block. So the block brings the balls up to meet my head. Again, you can use two separate tennis balls or rubber balls, but you might have to use your fingers to hold on to them as you're in this position. Oh, this is another spot that just getting into the spot feels like, oh, I'm feeling a lot already. No need to really do much here. I can feel the balls move into those spots. And this, for me, is actually a great position to be in if I have a migraine. It often shows up at the back of my skull, and I like the feeling of pressure. I did a whole video on yoga for headache and migraines if you'd like to check that out. So we'll start the same way. This time, instead of rocking on our feet, which you can do, but I find that in order to get that up and down motion, the easiest way is to nod the head. So drop the chin toward the chest, lift the chin toward the ceiling. As I nod the head, the ball naturally moves. You might have to readjust or put a finger on the ball if it's moving out of place. And then if you were nodding, stop somewhere in the middle, and we're going to turn to one side. So I'll turn my head toward you. Now this is a spot where you could use one ball. So if you only want to do one side at a time, it's easy to put one ball on the block, turn your head, and then you probably won't even have to hold the ball. So the ball has now traveled, or the side of my double ball, so I'm really only on the one side, is closer to almost behind my ear. Still putting pressure on there. And then we can nod our head while we're facing this direction. So this is the neck massage. You might be wondering, how is this the neck massage when we're on the head? Well, we're at the very top place where the neck connects to the skull. And there's all these muscles that the neck has to use in order to support our heads all day long. By rolling out those areas, that's how we're getting some neck release. Let's come back to the center, and I'll turn away from you as we go to the other side. So same thing, turn your head, and then you might wish to invite in some up and down nods of your head. Come back through to center. So you can stay in this position as long as you'd like. If you're still feeling relief and a sensation of letting go of some of that tension, stay here. You might also choose to go back to any of the other positions that were really the spots that you needed to address today. So what did you think of using the balls for your upper body? Are you feeling a greater sense of release, maybe an ability to move around more easily? That's certainly the goal. If you do want to work your lower body, I did that video already, or you can try any of my ball massage videos and see how that works for you. Tell me if it worked for you by commenting down below. And please subscribe to my channel. Not only do you get notifications, but it gives me the notification that what I'm doing is working for you. Hope you have a relaxing and easeful rest of your day.